Hey everyone, welcome to Inside South Florida. How's it going? I'm your host, Jason Carter. Thank you for joining us today. And coming in hot, the Miami New Times just released their Required Eating 2023. It's their annual curated list of the top 100 restaurants in Miami you need to check out. And of course, our resident foodie, Miriam Tapia, was over the moon. She sat down with food editor for the Miami New Times, Laine Doss, where they discussed who made the list this year and also some surprises. Take a look.
Good to have you back on the show. You know, earlier this year we talked about best of for Miami New Times. Now you're back talking about 100 eateries. The eateries we cannot live without here in South Florida. I mean, you would think that there's like all these eateries, but you and Nicole, obviously your co-editor, have curated an awesome list. Tell me about the eateries that you did right now for the New Times.
Yeah, so it's called Required Eating, 100 restaurants we can't live without. And there are hundreds and hundreds of restaurants in Miami and South Florida. And somebody's got to have the tough job of eating through all of them and picking some really fantastic ones. And yes, Nicole Dana helped with the list. She's one of our writers at Miami New Times, and she's super helpful. And together, we really picked, I think, what are the best restaurants to take your friend to, take your mom to.
So you and Nicole did the task of doing this list. Now, let's start with Miami, because I know there's a little Broward sprinkled in the list. We'll get there later, but first let's talk about Miami, some required eatings, let's say in the morning.
Yeah, I think a few places that you really want to go if you want a fantastic bagel, and it's no secret that I'm from New York, and it was really hard to get a great bagel in Miami, but El Bagel does the job, it does the trick. They're right in the MIMO district on the Upper East Side, right on Biscayne Boulevard, super easy to get to. And just the bagels are chewy, we call them toothsome. They don't even need to be toasted, they're perfect. You can have it with whatever spreads you want, a big sandwich. If you want something a little more substantial, I love Chug's Diner in Coconut Grove.
Yes.
Michael Beltran, who owns Ariette and is opening up a bunch of restaurants in the coming months. This is his diner, this is his casual place. So you can get a great plate of eggs, you can get a great Cuban sandwich if you want that for breakfast or lunch or whatever. There's not good time for having a Cuban sandwich. And then Pastelito Papi makes the pastelitos, and they are fantastic, and they're off the charts. Forget about just guava and cheese or meat. Think anything in there. Think chicken, think plantains.
Frita, because I had the frita.
Just insane combinations. So fun, so beautiful. That's great, right in Coconut Grove, also a beautiful setting.
That's a beautiful area, right? Because it's growing, and obviously Ariette hospitality is just amazing, and what he's doing, it's really great. All right, let's talk about lunch, because you know, everybody in the workplace also we love lunch here in ISF actually. So tell me some of the best lunch spots.
One of my favorite places is Kush Hialeah.
Oh, yes.
And it used to be called Stevens. Maybe some of your viewers know it as Stevens. It's been around since the 1950s. It is one of the last Jewish delis in Hialeah. Hialeah had a big garment center district, a lot of clothing manufacturing, and it had a big Jewish population of people who worked there. And there were a lot of Jewish delis. This is the last surviving one. Matt Kusher, who owns Kush and Locale, bought it a few years ago. He's rebranding everything Kush, so this is Kush Hialeah now, but it has the same amazing corned beef and pastrami. And what's even more fascinating, so 1954, we were not alive. Junior Biggers, this gentleman who works there, who slices the meats, started working there.
Wow.
In the 50s. He's still there.
Wow.
He's still the deli guy there. I just find that incredibly wonderful. It's a bit of history.
Okay, I love Kush, so that's gonna be in my lunch, list. Let's talk about dinner. It's important. Everybody loves dinner here in Miami.
Yeah.
Where can we go?
Let's start somewhere like super casual.
Okay.
So I love Off-Site. It is in the Little River area. And Steve Santana from Tequiza and Adam Darnell from my beloved, which has closed down Box Elder in Wynwood Beer Bar, have opened this very small place. They have a nano brewery, so they make their own beer on site. And they have, bold statement, the best fried chicken sandwich in Miami.
Best fried chicken sandwich in Miami?
Yeah.
Lainey said it here first. Okay, so I shall go to Off-Site. Okay, so what's the upscale for the dining?
So I like to say, if you're gonna go Miami, go all out Miami.
All the way Miami.
And if somebody is in town footing the bill who wants to see Miami, Sexy Fish is amazing.
Sexy Fish in Brickell.
It's in Brickell.
Okay.
It is a mermaid fantasy. If the Little Mermaid moved to Miami
It would be
and opened
in
up
Sexy
a
Fish.
restaurant, it would be Sexy Fish.
That is so funny.
It's got everything. It's like Stefan from Saturday Night Live.
Oh my-
It has a mermaid in the bathroom. It has Daniel Craig as 007.
Yeah.
It has giant seafood towers. It has over-the-top drinks. It has a dessert in a steaming clamshell. It has everything. It is Miami, Miami, Miami.
I love Sexy Fish. Their drinks are so good. They have a really good happy hour, and it's in Brickell if you're like trying to do your notes here. Let's talk about Broward, because I know some Broward foodies are like, okay, where's the Broward love? What's some required eating in Broward?
Well, if you want a good love story with your dinner, I love the Catherine.
Ooh, I'm dying to go to the Catherine. Tell me more about the Catherine.
So Timon Ballou and his lovely wife, Marissa, who I'm good friends with, I think they're wonderful. Timon is such a talented chef. They opened up a small restaurant. It's right off of Las Olas Boulevard, and it's based on their love story. It's based on the dishes are just tell the tale of falling in love in Italy and their combined backgrounds and growing up in, the Northeast, and every dish has its own story. It's almost like eating through a scrapbook.
Wow.
It's wonderful. And I think the best, most addictive thing on the menu is their clam fries.
Clam fries.
Clam fries. Perfect French fries. Steamed clams, this gorgeous broth, and you just dip the fries in the broth. So good. So good. So good.
I love that. Now, we can talk hours and hours of food, but of course, we only have like a limited time. If people want to see the entire list, where can they go?
MiamiNewTimes.com.
There you go, MiamiNewTimes.com, food editor of the Miami New Times, Laine Doss. We're going to have to go to the Catherine together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Anytime. Perfect. Thank you.